Let's go.
All right, I'm clicking on my end too. You want to do your little thing, Rich, and make sure that we're live so we don't do this for two
Yeah,
hours and
let's
find
get
out
let's
we're
do the
not.
code word, everybody. The code word
All
today to make sure we're live is going to be candelabra.
Beauty.
So if I
I
hear
got your chat up
candelabra in the
too, so let's
chat,
see.
then we'll start talking real stuff because we'll assume we can be heard.
Yeah, I think we're live, but let's just wait and see.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of lag because I stream at 4K. So chat should start rolling it in.
There it goes. We're good.
We're good. We're live. We're here. Hey, welcome back to Larry and Joe show. We're live, right, guys?
We're
It's
live.
Larry. That's
Candelabra.
definitely Joe. And we got a special guest, man. Somebody special. This guy's back with us for the second time, guys. And he's the one and only Richard Hart. Richard, what's up, buddy? How you
How's
doing?
it going? Working hard, man. Don't get out much. I want my token now. I'm tired of waiting.
Yes, I can't wait. I mean, I actually sold all my crypto and put it into Bitcoin just for this to wait for that snapshot, which
Well,
I think is
I
coming
hope you're
soon,
up.
right?
Well, I mean, right now it's like really close. So we're almost at the audit stage. So working backwards, if you give everyone 2 weeks of warning, then that's from knowing you don't have to fix anything. That's from the auditors telling you don't have to fix anything, which takes them 3 weeks to do. So now you got 5 weeks going backwards, and we're not in audit yet, right? We're very, very close. So as soon as we get in audit, it's at least 5 weeks, and that's assuming you don't have to fix anything. But maybe you do, right? So it's at least 7 or 8 weeks, even if we were in audit, like as soon as I got off the call with you.
But that's okay. That's better than 7, 8 months. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's close. It's really close. And I mean, once we get into audit, then I can start doing a lot of other things. Like right now, I just do interviews with guys that reach out to me. Once we're in audit, I'll feel comfortable calling other people and be like, hey, it's time to talk about this, right?
Right.
Because I want to see more show links out there. Just, getting 20% of someone's stack for referring somebody to a crypto is insane. Like it's a gigantic payout. And if the thing has a high market cap, which I think it will, then you'll make more money promoting it if you get one whale to claim than like on anything you've ever done in crypto before as a real business, right? Like as a wallet or a media company or anything like that. It could be worth a lot of money. So I'm just kind of waiting till we get into audit because people know how software works. You never know how much work you have to do until you get closer to being done. And you're like, oh, we got to fix that. Oh, we got to fix that. And you can't know what bugs you have to fix until you're just closer to it.
But that's a good thing. I mean, I know it's bad and it's rough when you get towards the end, like you say, you got to fix the bugs. But that's a good sign that you're getting there and you're close, and
It's close.
it's close. So you know what?
Yeah.
I fixed these last couple of things. I'm doing my thing, and I'm right there.
What made me feel good was I got this spreadsheet that I used to try and make sure that all the variables that we're choosing are the right ones, right? Like so originally we were just going to pay, if you have this token that gives out unclaimed tokens, some people think, oh, well, I'll be secretive and I won't tell anyone about the project and then I'll get all the unclaimed tokens. And then the project just dies. So what you have to do is you have to cancel out people's desire to do that. And I did that with 3 things. I did it with the referral program. You don't want to tell anyone about it? You want to keep it a secret? Okay, someone else will make the referral. And you won't. They're still going to find out about it. And then 2 other things, which are virality, which is the number of claims, right? So if we get 100% of the possible claims, then we were going to increase everyone's pay by 10%. And then if you get like a bunch of big coins, like if 100% of all the possible coins claim, then you get another 10%. And then when I charted it out, those bonuses just weren't large enough, right? They didn't punch hard enough. So I increased them tenfold. And I said, okay, now if 100% of possible claims are made, it's going to increase the payouts to early guys 100%. And then if the coin amount is 100%, it's going to increase it another 100%. And those 100% apply against all the redistributed coins to the early guys. So now it punches hard, right? But I wouldn't have known that I needed to 10x those until I charted it all and was like, yeah, like even if we got like 50% adoption, like 50% of all coins claimed and 50% of all addresses claimed, it would still only be like 1% bonus. It's just not enough, right? Like, so after I did all these spreadsheets, you figure out, you're like, all right, this needs to punch harder. And then I thought, okay, well, we have this longer pays better bonus. Longer pays better. So if you stake an extra year, you get paid an extra 20%, which is like how the real world works, right? So if you go from a 1-year CD to a 2-year CD, you get about 20% more interest. So I just copied what already works in the real world. And the issue that I came up with and doing the sheets helped is, what if like 10% of coins stakes for 50 years? Then they're going to get a 10x multiple on their shares. So if 10% of the coins stake for 50 years, they've got the equivalent of 100% of the coins staked for like 1 week, right? And I thought, well, do I really want to incentivize a bunch of stakes that are 50 years long, which reduces the payout now by diluting the share pool for people that just stake less long? I'm like, no. Like, I'd rather have more people lock up their coins now till year 5, year 10, and not reward everyone for 50-year stakes to a degree that's insane, right? Because like, if you care about keeping supply off the market to keep the price high, does it matter to you whether a 50-year staked coin came off market or a 1-minute staked coin? No, it's still a coin off the market. So to pay one guy 10x as much to pull a coin out of supply seemed a little bit overkill. So then I told the devs, I'm like, all right, let's cap the longer pays better maximum bonus to 200%, which would leave you with a 3x the profit of a guy that just did like a 1-week stake, right? So if, instead of staking a week, you stake a year and a week, you're going to get, 20% more. And you could do that all the way up to like 10 years, and then you're going to get a 3x, which is 200% bonus shares. But then after that, you just won't get more bonus shares because it's too good a deal, right? Like paying you 3 times as much as someone else to take your shares off because you made a longer stake, that seems reasonable. But like anything past that seems a little unreasonable. Long story short, my spreadsheet, as good as it is, was proven to be an error by the software, which made me very happy because it means the software is just like smarter than me and working better. so to see like, oh, I was calculating this stuff the wrong cell. It was like, thank God, finally, and so the software is super, super, super close. There's just little things we're working on.
That's so great to hear. Now, let me ask you, Rich, out of all the coins out there, how many do you think actually put their coin through an audit process? Because I know it's expensive to do.
Like, I mean, when you go to these audit companies, their like track record of successful audits that they've done for people is like 10, 20, 5. I mean, you won't really find an audit company there's like no audit company that I'm aware of on earth that has like triple-digit audits for crypto or smart contracts, and there's maybe only 10 audit companies. So, computer security is hard. Smart contracts are cutting edge. There's very few entities that are even qualified to do the type of auditing that we're interested in. And the other thing is, like, we already know what all of the vulnerabilities that have been found are because we're smart. So we've already avoided most of them. So like when you run automated testing software or hire an auditor, what he's going to do is look for the stuff that's easy to find first, right? So do you have reentrancy bugs? Do you have race conditions? Are you calling external contracts? Have you, misnamed your constructor? But apparently that's not an issue since they like release Solidity 0.50 or something. So we know those same sheets of checklists to watch out for. And our contract, since it's just a single contract, doesn't have a lot of those problems. So really the kind of things that would show up in a bug test with our software are kind of more mathematical, brute forced, harder to find things that you need someone that is very sharp to find, or you can just throw a lot of random situations at it, which is what we're doing now. So we have a server that's just full-time simulating user behavior against the contract to see if any combination of user inputs can cause it to fail. And so far, so good. You know, in the past, we've gotten fruit from it and found certain conditions that would cause it to fail. Right now, it's working so well that the fuzzer isn't finding failures. So that's good news.
No, that is great to hear. And just for people that are new here, maybe not familiar with Bitcoin Hex, it is built on Ethereum, I believe, and it is going to have I guess, a day or a snapshot or a block where maybe you could get into it a little bit, Rich, exactly what's
Sure.
going to happen and how people could claim their coin.
Yeah, so it's real easy. Imagine that you had like a spreadsheet that had a list of everyone that you owed money to. Well, that's what Bitcoin is, pretty much. It's just this big spreadsheet that everyone just stores that says, okay, these guys have money. If they have the private keys, they can spend it. That's all it is. And so if you wanted to take that system state, take a snapshot of it, take a copy of the spreadsheet and go, okay, if you had money here, now we're going to give you money there. And we make a new spreadsheet and we copy all the names over. And if you had private keys to that spreadsheet, cool. Just prove it by signing something that we can prove, you know, that you did. It's just a little statement. It's a feature in your wallet. It's called signed statement. Not all wallets have it. Good wallets do. And then you can claim your coins on this new thing. So if you had Bitcoin, you can get, for every Bitcoin you had, you'll get 10,000 Bitcoin HEX. But I got to stop calling it Bitcoin HEX because we're rebranding. We're dropping the Bitcoin name. It's gone. So no more Bitcoin logo, no more Bitcoin name, no more association with it. It's just HEX.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. I think that's better.
It is better. And I've wanted to rotate to a better brand for a very long time, but it just wasn't able to find one that was good enough because every short.com name is taken, right? So hex.com is taken. bhex.com is taken. Every .com you can think of is taken, right?
By you, I hope, right?
No. I mean, dude, it's cutthroat. Like,
Oh,
.coms
man.
have been around a long time. They're all registered. So to be able to get Bitcoin HEX in the first place was like a hard job as far as like getting .com names go. So this new .dev domain came out from Google. They just released it a month or two ago. And they had this like auction period where they just had the rates very, very high, like multiple thousands, and then they would come down every like week. And so now they're like reasonably priced. So I got hex.dev, I got hex.win, and I like those two domains very much. Hex.dev is kind of unique in that it's a domain that you can only access with secure cert. You have to use HTTPS. It will not function without HTTPS. I don't even know that existed. Like I just discovered that like a couple weeks ago. So wow, there's URLs you can only use with secure cert. I had no idea. It's new.
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah. So .app is that way and .dev is that way. I'm not sure if there's any others that are that way. So I got hex.dev and I got hex.win. Now on Twitter, I'm Richard Hart Win. Why? Because Richard Hart was taken and I needed to add something to it. And I could only add 3 more letters. I was like, well, what's the coolest 3 letters I could think of? I'm like, win. All right. It's positive, adjective, like verb. Sure. It's just, so I got lucky and I'm like, oh, look, because I reached out. I tried, like hex.co. They want like, some large amount of money. I'm like, fuck y'all. Like, I got a better domain for less. So like, hey, sure. Now I got hex.win. And then even with the .dev, I think they're going to bang me for like $350 a year just to renew it, just because Google wants the money. So like, I don't have that problem on the .win domain. It renews at a reasonable rate. Now, I mean, I'm rich and I shouldn't care about these small numbers, but I do. I don't like to get a bad deal on anything at all. So I don't want a bad deal on a domain. I don't want a bad deal on dinner. Like, I like good deals. So I'm very, very happy with the hex.win domain. There ain't no way to get a 3-letter pronounceable domain name. So like, I had Strape, which was really similar to Skype, right? And Skype did well with theirs, so I figured Strape would work well. But having to explain...
You have a Telegram.
Yeah.
You have a Telegram page, Strape, right?
The problem is people ask you, how do you spell that? I am so sick of getting asked how to spell a domain name. I will never launch a business ever again where I'm ever asked how to spell the domain ever. We'll never do it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So if your domain, if your project is called Hex, you ain't never going to be asked how to spell it ever, right? And so to get a 3-letter domain that you can't misspell and has technical, like in Ethereum, which is the system we're building on, their address format's in hexadecimal, right? And when you do Kellers on the internet, it's also hex code, hexadecimal, right? So like, it's technical. The imagery and the branding of like the hexagon is awesome. Like it's just, I'm super, super happy with the brand. It's Hex is a better name for a project than Bitcoin, which is 2 words, and it doesn't stand out or is not descriptive, right? So like, okay, coin, okay, maybe it's money, okay, bit, like, all right, what's a bit? Like it's small, or like a horse chomps at a bit, or like there's no imagery or strong. It's just not as good as Hex. Like if you're a hacker, like Hex is a cool name. If your name as a hacker was like Bit, it'd be like not as cool. I'm just like,
The hell is that?
yeah.
That's cool.
Well, what I find awesome is that you know, how I love the way the process is going to work, and you know, you really need to only own Bitcoin for that one snapshot, which makes it great for people that might not have all the money tied up in Bitcoin. So let's say you're holding 10 grand in T-Pay or 10 grand in Verge, and then, you know, all you need to do is sell those coins for whatever it is, a few minutes, get it into Bitcoin, get in that snapshot, and then you could get out and buy your coins back, and you'll still get your Bitcoin Hex.
Yeah, true. Now, I mean,
brilliant.
There isn't
brilliant.
I was thinking of airdropping Ethereum holders. I was 50-50 on it. Now I'm like, so I'm torn. Every time a Bitcoin maximalist shit talks my project, I want to airdrop Ethereum holders so very much more. Just to be like, oh, you don't like the free money I'm giving you? These guys like the free money. Like, you don't like the free money? Okay. Everybody else does, right? But I just don't want to delay the project anymore, right? So I would love to onboard, like ideally I'd just airdrop everyone that's in the crypto ecosystem at all, but you run into these problems. So you have to set a market rate, an exchange rate between all of the cryptos at the snapshot to set the ratio that they can claim at. And then you can only allow it for like 1 day, because otherwise you'd have to run some trusted oracle that could fail or lie to do it for more days, right? And then you're worried about getting rid of scammers, right? So if I did let ETH people claim, I wouldn't want any ICOs to be able to claim. So I'd have to set like a really low limit on the size of the wallet that could claim, because I don't want any ICOs getting free money. And I just think it would delay the project. So probably not going to do it. I want to get to market already. And you know, the other thing is like, you don't have to claim the free money. It's awesome if you want to, but at some point, like there will be people who have claimed that maybe want to sell some, and then you can buy it from them, right? It's going to be on exchange pretty quick. Like Ether Delta, you can list anything off the bat, so it doesn't require them to like approve it apparently. And then IDEX, which is the largest distributed exchange, they're like 54% of the trading volume. They reached out to us and said they wanted to list.
Wow.
And then and once we get into audit, I'll just start cold calling all the large exchanges and be like, what's up? Let's play, right?
What do you want to do?
You need an attorney letter. What do you want it to look like? And then we get that ball rolling. I'm careful about making promises as to what, you know, I'll do, because I'm so, like, since I founded the project, I don't want to have securities problems. And I know that one of the legs of the Howey test is like expectation of profits from the work of others. So I think I'm okay if I tell you that I'm likely to do work before you could have possibly done anything to like pay me theoretically or whatever, right? So as a caveat or a disclaimer, I'm not going to actually do any work for you. Don't expect it. I just really want this thing to work for my own reasons. They have nothing to do at all with you buying it or whatever. Like, I don't know. It sucks that I have to like pretend not to do work for something that I want to work on to try and avoid some security crap. Like, welcome, whatever. That's the game. Like, I'll play it. You're not giving me any money. There's no common pool. You don't get any voting. You don't get any shares. Once the contract's done, it can't be changed. You couldn't do any work on it even if you wanted to. So that's my like disclaimer, is to like not be a security, right?
You know,
Got it.
it's funny, you know, just listening to you tell about, you know, all the things that you have to go through to get your project moving, and how, what you got to think about this, you got to think about that. Man, it's got a lot of stress, and it's funny, like a lot of people don't realize this, and that's why, like, all the time, I'm glad to have guys on like you, Richard, who can tell us what actually is going on, because you know people just see a coin. Oh, look at this coin, looks good. Let me buy that. But you know what it takes to freaking get to where that is, and listening
hard.
to you, man, I'm stressed out right now, man.
Yeah, it's hard. And I thought, I'm like, how hard can it be to launch a customized ERC20? It can't be that hard. Oh my God, dude. It's like, it's nearly impossible. It's insane. Blockchain is really, 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 really hard. Extremely hard.
And you really have a complex smart contract. I mean,
Yeah.
probably one of the, I would say, probably one of the most complex smart contracts out there.
It's not Augur complex, but it's hard enough. I mean, it, like, if it were any harder, you'd wonder. Like, you don't want to make it any harder. It's hard enough. Yeah.
Now, may I ask why Ethereum? Why did you decide to go that route?
Yeah. So here's all I care about. I have a very simple belief as to what makes crypto valuable today. Okay. Fantasy dreamland, what might make crypto valuable in the future? You can dream up whatever you want. Oh, it's going to replace the dollar. Sure, dude. Maybe, right? What I have is today. Okay, what we have today is the two most valuable things you can buy with your Bitcoin are altcoins or US dollars in an exchange. That's it. Less than 4% of retailers accept it. Far, far less. Less than 4% of the top, like 500 retailers. Less than 4 million wallets exist with over $100 in them. Most people have more than one address. Okay, so when I say wallets, that's incorrect. That's addresses. Less than 4 million addresses have over $100 in them, which means if you're like minimum number where you consider someone actually a user of the stuff is $100, which ain't asking much, I might say. You know, Clash of Clans has 100 million users, and their average ticket's far over $100. Otherwise, it wouldn't make the $1 billion a year they make, right? I have to do the math on that.
Wow.
So they, and I think it's net. I think they net $1 billion. I think they gross more. Check it. Check the numbers yourself. If you don't like their numbers, the other 4 or 5 top games also have about the same numbers. Casual games, free games that magically turn not free.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
if you look at Bitcoin, which has been around for 10 years, to only have less than 4 million users with $100 in it, I think is pitiful. So I need to be able to do better. In order to do better, I need a better tool, right? So there are a lot of people that made a lot of money on Bitcoin, right? So like exchanges have made a ton. Mining hardware companies have made a ton. Wallets haven't made anything, which just sucks, right? So the people that are most in control of the user experience for the thing to do what it's supposed to do, which is get rid of middlemen, they make the least money. So the user experience sucks. Wallet devs, which are like the most important people in the ecosystem, the most likely people to catch security bugs, the most likely people to make this whole thing work better, they don't get paid shit. Who makes all the money? The middlemen, the people we're trying to get rid of. They make all the money. Exchanges make all the money. Margin trading makes all the money. You know, like, it's a tragedy of the commons. It's backwards and fucked up, and it's like, it ain't gonna get fixed. So, so what would you need in order to fix that? Well, you'd need like one large stakeholder that had a large enough share that he could pay to onboard new users, and he could like have a financial monetary incentive to make the UI UX better, right? Because he's got a large enough portion of the stack that when the thing gets better, you know, his stack goes up enough, right, to make it cash positive for him. So you're not going to get things like that. You're not going to get a Super Bowl ad for Bitcoin. You're not going to get a wallet that makes money. It's been 10 years. You know, a lot of places ATMs have shut down. A lot of places retailers have stopped accepting it. These are not normal behaviors for a successful startup. Now, some things have gotten better. Maybe Lightning will work out, which, by the way, has absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin at all. Nothing. It does not run, like, the Lightning project is built by different devs than the core software. The network it talks on is a different network, talks over different ports. Like, the only common thing, like, all Lightning is a really cool, fancy way to trade pre-signed Bitcoin transactions that are time locked. Mm-hmm. So if this guy unwraps and proves he paid, then this guy gets to settle and all that stuff. Like, and it works for any network, right? So if you like Lightning, which I think it's awesome, it's also on Ethereum, right? So they've got Raiden, state channels, Plasma. That's all the same stuff. Trading about pre-signed on-chain transactions. So, like, yeah, it's awesome. It's cool. But it's not really Bitcoin, which is the reason it will be applied everywhere else that anyone wants to use it. It's a great idea, you know, but it's not going to give Bitcoin some competitive advantage above and beyond the other tokens that choose to employ it. So, like, my point is, in order to make a larger impact than Bitcoin has, you need to do UI UX better, and things like overpaying miners. How good is it that miners make tons and tons of money that they then hand to mining hardware manufacturers and to the electric company? So they just get paid to pollute. It's not great. It's not wonderful, right? And those guys, they don't talk to you on Twitter. They don't give a shit about what you have to say. They don't seem to be the most friendly folks, right? Like, I do live streams all the time. You know, I used to be a miner. Back when mining was on GPUs, you could talk to all the other gamers and, you know, overclock your GPUs and install custom BIOSes to get some more volts in there, and, you know, do a lot of cool stuff as a community to mine this thing and make the network work. But then as soon as ASICs came along, they don't even speak English anymore. They're totally different alien community that doesn't even interact with you at all, right?
Wow.
And then you're like, but in Ethereum, they still have GPU miners, and they care about that, so they're changing the proof of work to get rid of ASICs, and they're switching to a proof of work called Prog POW, just to get rid of ASICs. That's fucking beautiful, right? So if you want to mine Bitcoin right now and you got a GPU on your computer, fuck yourself. You ain't making any money. But if you want to mine Ethereum, you can. I'm not sure you're going to make money, but at least you're able to break even, maybe, right? You don't even have a break even option if you're trying to mine Bitcoin, because you need an ASIC, which is like, you know, $1,000, $2,000. So it's a better mining ecosystem. You asked me why I chose Ethereum. They have the most hash rate, the most developers, never had an inflation bug. They have a bug bounty program. They're just more friendly. The testing is better, right? So there is auditing companies that know how to audit smart contracts that you can go to. That doesn't really exist for like a Bitcoin fork. You're like, oh, you got a Bitcoin fork? Well, those don't get audited. It's not even a thing, right? Like, Bitcoin's not audited, and no Bitcoin fork is audited. It's the attack surface is just too large. They look at the EXE and they're like, yeah, this will take a couple of years. Hope you don't plan on changing anything. Like, it's a nightmare, right? Which is why you keep getting these bugs. Like, software's hard, you know? We just had an inflation bug discovered by a Bitcoin Cash developer less than a year ago. Now, to tell you what inflation bug means, that means some guy can just print as many coins as he wants. That was less than a year ago in Bitcoin with the best devs, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I still think they're the best devs, but that inflation bug shit shook me. I'm like, oh, so like we're basically like one double click EXE away from the network, just printing free money for somebody. I don't like that. Yeah, so in HEX, once the smart contract is on the network, you can't change it ever. People can double click whatever EXE they want. That smart contract is what it is. You can't change it, right? It's not up to negotiation. So there's advantages. There's a ton of advantages to using Ethereum. No one's like the only people that have lost money in Ethereum are, I guess, the DAO hacker when they forked the network way back when they could. They can't do that now. If they could do that now, they would have recovered the Polkadot funds and the parity hack funds, which are hundreds of $1,000,000, which they haven't recovered. So that's off the table because those are all consensus homies. If they were going to roll back the chain for anybody, they'd roll it back for them. It's not happening. And then the people that lose money are just people that use the software poorly because it's easy to use poorly because it gives you all the rope in the world to hang yourself with. We avoid those problems by using the smallest set of it that we can, right? And it's the part that people can audit it. So it gives us, more belief in the security of it than any other way of doing it. Like having your own chain with low hash rate, you're going to get attacked like Bitcoin Gold did or like Ethereum Classic did. You're just going to get 51% attacked. Oh, you're going to do a proof of work change? Okay, well now it's even easier to 51% attack you because you have even less hash rate. Right? So there is no more secure way to launch a new token than on the Ethereum network, as it stands today. And then you've also got that lottery ticket that they solve through sharding or proof of stake instead of proof of work, that it pollutes less and does higher throughput. You're in that lottery. Now, it already does higher throughput than Bitcoin, but I mean like even more, right? Because they've got the most guys working on it.
Wow, so that makes sense. That was, and I understand now why you chose that. Yes,
it's
definitely
the best that is available now.
Definitely.
Yeah, and also with that bounty program, that's awesome too that they have that out there, to incentivize people to find bugs, pay them. And I don't know of any other coin that's doing that. So that's great. I had a question, Rich.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever heard this asked for you.
Mm-hmm.
When do you do like your best thinking? Like when
Shower.
is it when you're in the shower? Is
Yep.
it when you're driving your car? Is
Shower.
it when you're laying down?
It's definitely the shower.
The shower. Okay.
Yep.
God,
So
I've got
Okay, so Bitcoin HEX originated in the shower.
Yeah. Yep. So like so many things
Okay.
do, because the reason that you do your best thinking in the shower is because it is a time when most people are deprived of outside stimuli. So you're not searching for how many people liked your last tweet or answering some stupid shit some guy just said or all this other, dopamine addictive fast reward shit that you get off of Twitter and social and all that, right? When you free yourself from that, and it's just you and your thoughts, it lets you think deeper. And it lets you think down the paths that are from you, and you get to be you when you're with yourself. But when you're not with yourself, when you're with all these other people, they're influencing you and making you them, because your brain thinks that their thoughts that they shoved into your head through the screen. So
exactly.
If you spend more time in silence, pretty much you're gonna do better thinking. I already know too much. I need to get what I know into the world and make it affect lives. That's where I'm at in my life. There may be people earlier in life that are just not that far along yet that are better off maybe being influenced by other people until they can generate their own good thoughts,
Well, you probably get some really good thoughts and just hang out in a freaking bathtub for a while. Glass of champagne and a cigar. Holy shit, man. If you're getting all that out of a shower, imagine a bathtub. Holy crap.
Turn to a raisin. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
I should
awesome.
I should spend more time in silence. Like if I just stopped tweeting entirely, probably the world would be a better place. I hope to get there, and just build evergreen content instead of, how are people going to read your tweets 5 years from now? No. But would they read your book? Yeah. Would they use your crypto? Yeah. Right? So you really want to spend your time building things that last and not live in the moment of what appears to be urgent, but is really meaningless,
No, that's, you know what, Richard, I'll tell you the truth. That's really a good point for everybody. with everything. It goes for everything. Give yourself a little time for yourself and just sit in the quiet, man. Just let your mind go free and just think about your thoughts and keep all the crap, like you said, from these other people putting in your head, driving you different directions, man. Great. I don't know if you really meant to do that or how that came out, but that is a very good point for people to take and say, listen, man, sit down and just be by yourself a little bit. Let your mind do some work, man, and just free yourself of all the bullshit. Good job, man.
So,
You know,
go ahead.
yeah, yeah. No, because I wanted to ask you another question real quick about, you were just talking about Bitcoin and Lightning and stuff, and I really want to see what your thoughts are about this. Now, we were just talking the other day about how Kroger, the supermarket, is getting rid of Visa. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Good.
And they want, and sure, and they want to go with the Bitcoin. They're thinking about Bitcoin, and they're trying to hook up with that. Do you think that's possible? Do you think it's a good idea? Like, what do you think about the whole situation with that?
I think it's like I've billed millions and millions and millions of dollars, many, many millions of dollars through credit cards. Credit cards suck. Bad. Crypto sucks worse.
Really?
So I don't know why no one in crypto has ever run a business for some reason to like know this shit, but it's really, really simple. Okay. If people come to your store and they've got $100, the maximum amount of money that you can get from that person at your store is $100. So your job is to sell them the highest margin product you can that will do them a good job, right? So if you got an option of selling them something you make $40 on a $100 sale or $60 on the $100 sale, you should really be trying to sell them the $60 thing because you're going to make 50% more money. However, if they come into your store with a credit card and $100 cash, man, the credit card will let us spend money he don't have. Now, a customer that's only got $100, you can sell $500 worth of stuff. So, gee, yeah, you should accept credit cards so people can spend money they don't have right now, right? People just look at credit cards like, oh, it's just some, high fee thing. Well, yeah, it's a high fee thing, but it's also sell this dude 4 times more stuff thing because he can spend money he ain't got, right? But since no one in crypto has ever run a business, they don't fucking understand that. Now, what are the downsides to credit cards? When you accept that money, it's not really yours. It is really yours if you get a signature, and the signature matches the back of the card. But if it's a mail order, telephone order, MOTO transaction, you'll lose that chargeback often, right? Which is the reason so rarely will you be able to buy crypto for a credit card. Because they'll just charge it back. And I'm like, I didn't get the crypto. What are you going to do? Prove you gave it to them. Go ahead, try. You're going to lose that chargeback. The fact that some people are able to sell crypto for a credit card, I don't even have any idea how they do it. I really don't know. Because I can't see them ever winning a chargeback, ever. And for volatile product, when someone buys at $1 and it goes down to 50 cents, they want to charge it back, right? They want that money back. Mm-hmm. So if Kroger wants to replace so at the volume they're doing, like the lowest rate I ever got on a signed transaction was like 1.59. This would have been like in 2003. So I can't, like, let's just say that it's rather static, but they do huge volume. So let's say they're at like 1.49 or 1.39. Imagine how cheap it would have to be. It's actually impossible for crypto to do as good a job as credit cards do for their customers at a 1.39% rate. So, and let me prove that to you. Okay, you want to buy crypto. Where are you going to buy it from? An exchange. Okay. How do exchanges make money? By giving you a shitter deal. Exchange, $1 billion company? Yep, $1 billion company. How do they do that? It's fucking over the customers. Well, if you can't get a good deal buying crypto, if all you're doing is replacing the credit card company with 1.39% margin with a fucking crypto exchange with higher than 1.39% margin, how are you gonna, where's the efficiency? It doesn't make any sense, right? So like if you have to buy your crypto in an ATM, 5 to 10% hit, and then you got to replenish your crypto because you want to be exposed to the asset for the price gains, then you got to rebuy your crypto now. Well, now you just paid the fee twice. It doesn't make any sense. Like there's a reason nobody accepts crypto. It's because you can't You can't even do pull transactions. Like if I come up with a business and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to bill you every month. So look, we'll give you the first couple months free, and then we're just going to bill you by the month, and then you end up billing them forever, right? Because they liked it or forgot or whatever. You can do that in credit card. Crypto, no pull payments, push only. So like everyone, like Andreas Antonopoulos, right? He's got a channel because his business, I guess, doesn't work, so he needs donations. So he has a Patreon that's like, hey, please give me money. Do they accept crypto? No. Andreas Antonopoulos does not accept crypto? No. Well, why not? Oh, because he can't just keep banging your credit card. He'd have to keep begging you for the money every month, just like the credit card company has to. Credit card company has to be like, hey, please pay us. Yes, another month has passed. Yes, here's your bill. Please pay your bill, right? That's what the credit card company has to do every year or every month. But Andreas and the other crypto influencer people, they don't want to actually send you a bill and hope you pay it, because you probably won't, because that's how life works, right? So they're happy to get you on Patreon where they can bang your crypto card and then hide their bill inside the credit card company's bill, which is what they're really doing, right?
Wow.
So no, crypto is not good for commerce, or you'd see it a lot more. Unless you're selling illegal drugs, and you should be using Monero anyway, or something similar, right? So like crypto does one thing really well. It goes up in price. That's enough. It doesn't need to be good at commerce. It doesn't need to be good at all this other shit people dream it is, but has no adoption after 10 fucking years. Look, in startup world, in technology world, in the year 2020, which is about where we're at, you don't need to be around a long time to get traction and get millions and millions and millions of users. If the shit works well, it gets millions of users really quickly, right? Crypto doesn't work well for payments. Like it never will.
That's a great point.
Until everyone has it. When everyone has it, then it'll be amazing.
Different
But
ball
right
game,
now,
yeah.
fucking nobody has it.
Right. Well, we got to start somewhere.
I wanted to ask you in regards to the Coinbase. I know they just purchased that chain analysis firm. How do you feel about that?
Look, it's a double-edged sword, right? Do you want people to be able to buy crypto? Yes. Do you want them to be able to buy crypto with their bank account? Yes. Then some bank has to accept their wire transfer, okay? Banks don't like crypto because they don't do shit volume and they don't make any money on them. It's just a giant fucking problem for them. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen, right? It's a you funded Al-Qaeda lawsuit waiting to happen. Banks don't want crypto clients, which is the reason there's like 2 fucking banks in America that'll accept a crypto client that does volume, right? I'm not going to list them so that you guys don't bother them. So maybe they'll stay in business longer, okay? Why does Coinbase shut down people's accounts after they detected the coins you bought from them you spent someplace they don't like? Because they need to keep their bank accounts, okay? So they do this evil shit, not because they're particularly excited to be evil, but because they need to keep their fucking bank accounts, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Is it evil and shitty and terrible? Yes. Do you want people to be able to buy crypto with their bank account? Yes. Okay, well, if you liked all that money that came into Coinbase in 2017, they can only do that because they were doing that evil shit. So you just have to be okay with it. And if you don't like that evil shit,
Now,
see if you can go get a bank account.
Do you think this will force more?
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, like, as long as there's only 2 banks in America that will work with you, you need to do whatever you have to in order to clean the living shit out of your customer base, to get rid of every drug buyer and every gun buyer and every tobacco, like to clean out everyone you possibly can in the hopes that you can keep your bank account up. It sucks. It's terrible. It's anti the whole idea of crypto, but it's what the world is. Like that's how it is.
Wow.
Got it. Now, do you think this is going to drive more people as we move forward towards more privacy-oriented coins?
No. So no one uses this shit for commerce, right? Even all the darknet guys, all the darknet purchases that is real commerce that is done using crypto. The amount of money that goes through that is less than 0.5% of the market cap. You ain't getting $1 trillion market cap with some darknet drug sales. You're not. You will get $1 trillion market cap with people that want to buy the digital future, distributed Ponzi scheme that keeps going up 20x, down 8x, up 20x, down 8x, all that. You'll get it from that. All crypto has to do is go up in price to be an awesome world-changing thing. Eventually, people will use it, right? One of these killer apps will come along and it'll just work and it'll be awesome. But until then, we need to do this oscillating larger and larger bubble thing, or else there's really no reason to buy it. There's not. Like it going up in price is enough. That's why everyone buys stocks. You think people buy Coca-Cola stock because they just fucking love soda drinks and they're really interested in the chemicals and shit? No, they want to make money, right?
Yeah, right.
The reason people buy stocks is because they want to make money. The reason they buy crypto is because they want to make money. So, going up in price is enough. It doesn't need to be from, this like retail, people buy drugs with it or people buy coffee with it. People don't buy coffee with their Berkshire Hathaway stock. I wouldn't mind having as many shares as you want to give me,
No, that's so true. But I mean, in the future, probably, we're looking for the use cases of this. For now, you're right. Yeah.
They got Facebook coin coming, man. It's coming. So you want to see adoption, you want to see crypto adoption. Okay, there you go. Is that what you wanted? This is what we got. Because we fucked around so long, we did such a bad job for so long that now they could come in and actually make impact.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the expense of more centralized, bullshit, and that's
you're not going to make mad gains on it.
Hopefully, we're trying to stay away from.
So like, I feel terrible about Facebook Coin because I absolutely hate the company and everything that it touches is just the worst. I hate it entirely. It makes money by destroying human consciousness, right? Like turning you into a zombie is how they make maximum money. Horrible. And destroying your privacy and just terrible, terrible, terrible company. That being said, if they onboard millions of new users into crypto, it will push all of crypto up in value because people will get in for their whatever the fuck sales pitch Facebook gave them. But then they'll see the mad gains and they'll be like, oh, mad gains? Yes, I would like to make money on my crypto instead of just have it tied to the dollar. So it's actually good. I just feel bad that it's good because it's Facebook.
Because there you go.
I feel better about it if it was Google, and I'm not great on them either, but hey, this product works all right. We're chatting on it.
Got it. Now, back to HEX really quick. So I think this is important that we speak on this. So, all right, we get a block, the block happens, we get our coin. Now, I know we have a time period that you could claim.
You can claim for a year. You can claim for 50 weeks after the snapshot.
Okay.
But every week that you don't claim, you're missing 2% of your stack. It gets given to somebody else. Oh, you don't want to claim first week? All right, you lost 2% of your stack. You also didn't get the speed bonus. So if you claim first week, it's 20% speed bonus. If you don't claim first week, you lose 2% of your stack. If you stake first week, you get all those coins that other people didn't claim, right? So everything is built around getting in early. If you get in early, you don't get your stack taken from you, and you get everybody else's stack that was late, right? And you get the biggest speed bonus. And this is if you stake. So there's two bonuses if you just claim. You get the speed bonus, which goes 20 to 0 over 50 weeks. So you get in the first week, you get 20% bonus. If you refer somebody, you get 20% of their stack. They still get paid in full. The currency just inflates 20% to pay you. You can self-refer yourself. It's like an Easter egg. What else? So those are the two things that hit as soon as you claim. The refer and the speed bonus. The other awesome stuff, the stuff where you can make 3x, 10x, 30x your stack, that's from staking. That means you lock up your coins. So if you lock up your coins, you get the speed, you get the critical mass bonus, the virality bonus. Those are how many people claimed of the total, right? So if 100% of people claimed, it's gonna 100% your other bonus, right? And the biggest portion of that, so you've got interest, that's a little tiny portion during these 50 weeks. It's like 1% of your bonuses. The biggest bonuses during this 50-week claim phase are the coins that are unclaimed, like Satoshis and people that lost their keys and people that couldn't claim because technology doesn't support it, right? So like we don't let multi-sig addresses claim. So like giant exchanges can't claim. They're going to get
Awesome.
redistributed. Then all those, so your coins are going to get redistributed to you into the staker pool are just like gigantic. You'll make a multiple of your stack, right?
Wow.
So that's the like real deal bonuses that are going to matter the most. So like I modeled it, and my model came up with something like a 30x or a 50x return on your stack if there was only 1% stake participation, but that's like very unlikely. I think a lot more than 1% of people will stake. I think like 80% of people will stake. So I need to generate some more realistic models for like 80% staking. So it's some multiple still, right?
You know, and people got to remember when you're getting something for free, even if it goes up to a penny, you know, you still got it for free.
Yep.
So, you know, there's nothing better than that, you know?
Yep.
And the fact that nobody's came up with this idea and the way you're doing this is really unbelievable because CDs are a bank's probably, I guess, second or third biggest item they offer at banks.
Yep.
And for somebody to put this on a blockchain, I just can't believe it hasn't been done yet. And
Yeah,
my
there's
hat's
stuff that's been close, but there's like, so you've got like masternodes coins and proof of stake coins, and they're close, but they're missing like really important things. In those coins, when you want to get out, you can just get out. Oh, China's banning it, dump it, right? In this, you're in. You ain't getting out. You want out, you're going to pay an emergency end stake penalty. Half of it's going to go to the staker pool. They're happy to see you eject. You don't like the price? It's looking bad. Hit that eject button, right? So like, it would be funny if the staker pool like released fake FUD to get people to like emergency end stake as like a revenue source because they get paid on it, right?
so much game theory in this, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, and so it's in a normal bank, right? They pay you 20% more the longer that you stake, but they don't pay you more if less people stake. In this system, you get paid more because you're a member of a pool with smaller people diluting you. It's a smaller pool. So all of the inflation of the currency is going to come to the pool. If there's more members in the pool, you get less. If there's less members in the pool, you get more. Normal CD doesn't work like that. And normal CDs do have, they will hit you in principal on their penalties. They do penalize you about half of your, so if you said you were going to stake for a year and then you get out on a normal CD, they penalize you about half a year. So they always penalize you about half with a 3-month minimum until you get to like 2 years and up. And then they start to give you like just, we'll hit you just a year and a half all the way. Like they just don't hit you as hard. But our game theory is that we want to keep hitting you for that half the whole way because you were reducing the payouts of everyone else in the pool because you got all those bonus shares from staking longer. So since you reduced everyone else's payout, you wanted to pay the high risk, high reward. Well, you better stay staked half as long as you said you would, or you're going to get hit in principal. If you end stake after you've served more than half the time, you're still going to end up cash positive. You're going to lose a lot of the interest you would have made otherwise, right? Or you could just do what you said you're going to do and stay staked as long as you said you would, and you're going to make mad gains, right? Like that's the whole idea. The other systems not having a mechanism to keep you staked and not increasing your payout, like when there's less people staking, those are errors, right? They're failures in the game theory. So this is the purest analog. This is the only product I'm aware of that is on the blockchain that pays you more for committing to stake longer, which is the whole thing that makes CDs work, right? Like that's what CDs are meant to do. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm happy with it. It's $600 billion a year just in the United States alone in CDs. And those are only like non-jumbo CDs. I don't even have good numbers on how much is in the 100K and up jumbo CDs. And globally, we're talking a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So I don't know why I would need my token to do anything better than just this thing. Does it do more throughput than Bitcoin? Yes. Does it do cheaper transactions? Yes. Is it less? Is it never had an inflation bug? Yep. Is it audited? Yep. Is it, less likely to ever have any bugs because it can't be changed? Yes. That's all awesome. But do we even need any of those things? We just actually need the blockchain CD. But the fact that we have all that other stuff is awesome too.
So after the 52 weeks,
50
basically,
for claim face.
excuse me, after the 50 weeks, the only thing that you could do at that point then is purchase from somebody else, purchase from an exchange, or stake your coin.
I mean, everyone that didn't have Bitcoin at Snapshot's pretty much going to have to market buy from someone that did claim.
Okay.
Or, referred somebody, etc. Got coins, basically. And, there's nothing wrong with market buying. Like, if you have a shitty deal getting in and out of a currency and you don't have a good entry and exit and you're paying high fees to do it, I mean, if your only entry and exit to Bitcoin was an ATM and you had a 20% round trip, you would be better off market buying as long as HEX traded for less than 20% of a Bitcoin, right? So if your round trip is 20%, you'd be better off market buying as long as the token was less than 20%, right? At exchange. So like if the rate at which you get in and get out of Bitcoin is bad enough, then you're probably just better off buying from someone that, got in at a better rate.
Got it.
It's unlikely that the token will launch at parity with Bitcoin. It's unlikely.
I'm sure you're right about that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're not doing this for free, Rich. May I ask where
Sure.
how do you make money on this?
Yeah. So I won't tell you about me specifically, but I will tell you about this thing called the origin address, which may appease your desire. So there's an origin address that gets a copy of bonuses. It does not get interest. It does not get base claims. It just gets bonuses. So if a lot of people refer people, then there's more referral payout. Then it gets a copy of the referral payout. If a lot of people claim and the crit and virality goes up, it gets that. If anything that's a bonus, that's not a base claim or interest, it gets a copy of. So it's hard to know when people will claim and how much they'll claim. So it's hard to know what it will make.
Got it.
Might make a third, might make a half, can't make a half. It's physically impossible to make a half because if it's only getting a subset of things that someone else is getting, it would need to get all the things someone else is getting in order to get half. So it's physically impossible to get half. It's hard to calculate, but it's funny when people ask. So it seems like anytime people ask about this, they're like, how can we make that thing make less money? And you're like, well, are you sure you want that? If that thing has enough money to be cash positive advertising, then it might advertise. Or if it wants to list on an exchange and it costs like $1 million to list, it might do that. I can't promise anything because no one knows who it is. But like,
We'll call him
how
Joe.
how poor do you want to make it, right? Like, do you want to make sure that it can't be cash positive marketing, right? And then you look at the top 10, and you're like, all right, Ripple has got 40 or 60% of their coins owned by founders. They're number 2 crypto. Number 2. They used to not be, but they are now, right? And then Lumens has got 80% of their coins in a foundation. So 20% are on market, and they're like number 9 crypto. And then you go down the list, and you're like, wait a second. It turns out this like having no whales thing is a terrible idea because the centralized coins that have like centralized ownership do marketing partnerships and media buys and like have strong dev teams because they can afford to, because they don't have this wide distribution of holders that make it so that no one can be cash positive buying a new user. Like, so it's hard. It's really, really, really hard to explain to people why having like no one, like, you need a badass entity to like Bitcoin is, it can't even sue the Bitcoin.com people for like selling a fake Bitcoin. They're literally just like, yeah, rotate the logo a little bit, call it the real thing, put it higher in the list, right? Like they can't even catch a lawsuit over that because no one has the rights to do it because it's so distributed that people would just lose money trying to do it, right? So it can't even, it doesn't even own the .com name, retarded. Can't defend itself against imposters, you know, can't do Super Bowl ads, can't, like, it's just fucking crippled to death because there's not a large enough stakeholder. Now, Howey test again, origin address, you don't know who it is. They haven't promised you shit. You know nothing. It may never do anything good at all. It may come into your house at night and fart on you. It could be the worst thing ever, okay? Don't expect anything from the origin address, okay?
Yeah, nice.
But like, I'm just saying, if you want to make a successful crypto, this concept of make sure everyone's broke as fuck so no one can buy any ads and no one can get listed anywhere and we'll just beg everyone to do everything for free, that shit don't work. You will get your ass kicked by cryptos that have got their shit together and can be effective and have media teams, period. So that's the reason ICOs made lots and lots and lots of money onboarding new users to the ecosystem with advertisements, so many advertisements that the advertising companies had to literally tell them to stop and turn the ads off because they didn't like the ecosystem. There ain't no Bitcoin ads, not a one, and there ain't never gonna be.
That's the problem with decentralization.
Well, I don't want to say that it's a problem with decentralization per se, because decentralized mining is awesome. Decentralized development, it's pretty okay. Decentralized holders, not okay. Because now the only people that can afford to advertise are scams or exchanges that are going to bang you up on fees and just be the thing we're trying to get rid of. Like, we're trying to get rid of middlemen that are points of failure for risk, right? Like, part of the reason Bitcoin HEX is awesome is you can lock up your coins in a smart contract and make interest instead of giving them to a counterparty to lose, be hacked, get a government judgment against them, and you ain't never seen your coins again. So you tried to like pick up nickels in front of a freight train and make 5 or 6% a year giving your coins to someone else, and you'll never see your coins again. How many times does this have to happen to people, right? Cryptopia, hacked. Gox, hacked. Quadriga CX, hacked. BTCE, government shut down. I could go through the list of exchanges that have just been wrecked. And how is it good to leave your coins there to try and make some little percent per year? Stupid. So trustlessinterest.com, feel free to visit it. You know, it's a better way of doing things. Like, if you want to replace banks, you got to replace every single thing they do, and they do more than currency.
True.
They do CDs. All right, well, let's replace that.
Great point. Great point. I really appreciated, you coming on, Rich. And I just want to tell everybody, Richard has a lot of videos on his YouTube channel, and a lot of his newer stuff is crypto based, and I love them all. You are my favorite YouTuber, Rich, by the way.
Man.
But a lot of your earlier stuff, and I really suggest you guys take some time and go back to his earlier days with, his first, 10, 20, 30 videos, because there's a lot of powerful stuff in there that can make you a better person, more profitable, better at it's just very amazing. And I really wish you would start doing more of those videos. I really do, because they were
one day, man.
Very
That's
helpful.
the next thing on the list. So as soon as HEX takes over the world, top 3, then top 1, I hope. I'm working on my book. So I wrote 2 free books.
Sci-Vive, I got a copy.
Well, there's another book you might not have a copy of. I let the second one out. It's called How to Fix the World. So in the first Sci-Vive book, that stuff's all stuff you can personally do to make your life better. It doesn't talk about the systems very much. Book 2 is about economics, politics, education system, things that you can't personally change, but someone can. Some committee of people can, and they're still important. So you might hit up Telegram, t.me/Sci-Vive, like Survive Through Science, and download the second one. And that's So like making more money in crypto, it's not making me live any longer. With the stress, it's probably making me live less long. So I need to transition out of it and do things that will save my life and the lives of my loved ones. And that's Sci-Vive. So after HEX, Sci-Vive is the next thing, and the Save Your Ass Fund. So we need a fund. So if you can invest in funds that make the world greener, but still make you rich, or you can invest in funds that make the world worse, like a alcohol and weapons fund, like a vice fund, those are all available to you. We need to have a fund that invests in medicine that might save your ass or your loved one's ass, and just medicine that does that. You'll still get rich. Some of the, breakthroughs will work out for you. And while you're getting rich, you might be building a technology that saves you or your loved ones. That needs to exist. Now, there's a couple companies that maybe are doing that now. Maybe. I need to analyze them a little deeper to see whether they're investing stuff that just helps me or they're helping a lot of people who ain't like me, right? So I need a focused fund that's likely to save my ass specifically. So if it's curing AIDS, I ain't getting AIDS. If it's curing malaria, I ain't getting malaria. I need something that's going to save me and people like me. That's kind of along with the Sci-Vive book, the two important things that need to be worked on that, aren't crypto stuff. Crypto is great. It'll change man's relationship to government and reduce friction in the world at some point and just make a lot of things better. And that's awesome. But I need medicine within the next 40 years, 20 years. So it's like, you're going to need it. You might as well start working on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, with I have two more questions, Rich, and then I guess we could kind of wrap this up. Number one, in regards to Bitcoin HEX, is there anybody that you're not allowing to claim?
Mt. Gox can't claim, for sure. 2 Iranian addresses on the United States, like blacklist from the State Department, can't claim, but their balances are 0. But we're just going to zero them out anyway in case someone wants to be a dick and just send them money to be mean. There's other people I'd like to remove, but
it's hard, right?
I dropped an email to the Chainalysis guys, and I'm like, yo, you want to help me find these people? Didn't get any response back. Maybe they feel I'm not going to be like a high-paying enough customer for them. So it's like, I used to have a list of Bitmain addresses. They got zeroed out, so they're not useful now. It's like, it's not that easy to reliably find people to remove. So, like I would pull Ver, Garzik, Jihan, Bitmain, Bitcoin.com, Calvin, Craig. I would just pull them all, but I don't know any of their addresses, so I can't. If magically I get a court document that looks pretty good, like the Quadriga CX guys, they got wrecked and went to court, and I figured I could pull some addresses out of there to put on the blacklist, because if a guy exit scams his own exchange, no reason to give him free money.
Mm-hmm.
But his wallets are all empty too. So it's like the only thing I got is I got 138,000 coins and Gox with good addresses on court records that are removed from claiming, and they'll be redistributed to other people, the staker pool. But I haven't been able to find any of those other dream list of dudes. And, half of them might not even have any Bitcoin anyway,
Wow.
So.
All right. And my last question to you is, if all goes well, HEX takes off, no bugs, we move along, we get past those 50 weeks. Let's say 3 years out, where do you see HEX? Could we be in the top 10?
Could be top 1. 3 years out,
Wow.
could be top 1.
Top 1, awesome.
I don't have a lot of respect for what I see from any other projects whatsoever. I don't see compelling advertisements in the general public. I don't see, the only people I saw doing compelling general public advertisements was BitConnect. BitConnect had a big fancy show with people on stage and fireworks and shit, and they made hundreds of millions of dollars on a straight up scam. But they earned it. They actually went out there and did fucking outreach and did marketing and got people into their scam, right? So now we just need that same shit for a non-scam. Same stuff. You have to, if you want your project to scale quickly, you have to do the same marketing stuff that's worked for every other business. You can't just build it and hope they come. That shit does not work. right? So I don't have any respect for any of the marketing outreach I have seen from any cryptocurrency whatsoever. None. Like, so if you give me the tools I need to do a good marketing job, which we mostly have now, we've got an excellent brand, an excellent domain name. Hex.win is awesome. Our guys in the memes channel, t.me/Bitcoin Hex memes, we haven't rebranded. Like, I just made this change today, maybe yesterday. Time is starting to blur since I'm working so much now. Yesterday or today was when I told everyone, yo, we're going with Hex now. No more Bitcoin Hex, no more orange, no more B, all gone. We don't need that stuff, right? That way, when I do all my good marketing job, Bitcoin doesn't get to ride my coattails. It doesn't get to go, hey, Richard, man, we're glad you spent all this money on these ads to advertise Bitcoin something. Oh, let me look up that Bitcoin thing. Nope. Yep. No, you don't need to hear about that thing. You just need to hear about this thing, right? So, yeah, like with those tools, I will have what I need to whoop everyone else's ass in the space, except straight up scams. In theory, a straight up scam should have higher margin and should be able to pay, higher cost per click and stuff like that. I mean, think about all the advantages we got. We got a referral program. Once we're in audit, like if you're in media and you don't take 20% of people's tax to refer them to a thing that gives them free money, what are you thinking? Like, that's a great deal.
Crazy.
Like, that is a very, very good deal, right? So how many other cryptos have a referral program that pays 20%? I can't think of any, right? So once people start to see money and there's an exchange price and they see people that are getting paid on these claims, the shill links are going to be unbearable. You're going to see shill links everywhere. And then I think, like, if people start to block the shill links, I'll probably white label it and allow people to use different URLs and different hosted sites to host the
good
shill
point.
links. I'm just not, like, I'm not playing a fucking game here. Like, we're coming. So if you don't like my advertising message, well, I got bad news for you, because you're going to see it. You're going to see it in your mailbox. You're going to see it in your Twitter. You're going to be real sick of seeing me. So you better like the project, because you're going to see it. We're just
this is great,
very
and
close.
to hear the fact that you feel that we could really be in the top coin out there,
Sure,
top market cap.
If you're trustless and you show mad gains, that's all you need. And truthfully, in crypto, to trustless is optional. EOS votes to just take users' money. Just take it. It's literally the blockchain default judgment. Top 10 crypto. Higher price than its ICO price still in the bear market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's the trustless in that, right? Tether. Hey, maybe I got a bank account. Maybe it's got some money in it. Maybe sometimes this is worth $1. Give me all your money. People do it. Like, and how much money can you make? Can it go up to $2? Probably not. So, like, people buy billions of dollars of that shit. Did you tell me people buy billions of dollars of coin, totally 100% centralized, that can't possibly even double? Yep, that's what's going on. That's the world we live in. Well, fuck. Like, exactly how hard should it be to be top 10? Like, it shouldn't be that hard, right? If you have an audited project that was fairly launched, that has unique things that the crypto ecosystem's never seen before, like the first blockchain CD, and a referral program, and a hell of a good memes team, and like just like how many followers did Vitalik have when he launched ETH? I got more followers than he had.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fucking A. Like, I'm farther ahead, right? I got 1,500 people joining my chat room a day. We got 2,000 whatever users in Bitcoin Hex only chat, right? With no demo, no working product. Like, fuck, we're doing good, man. I'm happy.
No, I'm very excited. I'm very happy the way it's going, and I think we're on the right track. I cannot wait until this gets going and we get that snapshot and we just get Hex moving and rolling, and it's going to be great. It really is.
I see people shilling up my chat, and everyone's got their own shill domain. So there's someone posting bitcoinhexscam.com. I think it's funny. So it just forwards to the site, but pops the referral link.
You're going to obviously, now, just to let everybody know, Richard does have a video. I would say it's probably 5 or 6 videos back into his catalog where he shows you how to actually build a affiliate link. I
Become
think
a
it is.
shillionaire. Yeah, become a shillionaire.
Are you going to continue as we get closer and closer making these videos showing everybody how to do things?
Yeah, it's going to get a lot better, really. I'm going to have to redo that video because of the rebrand, right? Because it shows you how to do it on Bitcoin HEX. So because people have already sent traffic to Bitcoin HEX, that's just going to have to stay up and alive so that all of those referrers still get credit. So there's going to be some duplication. Like I can't just shut that URL down. It needs to still live. I'm going to change all my messaging over to HEX only and redo videos, particularly the claim ones. And, there's a lot of stuff I need to do videos on, like, hey, how do I sign addresses with my Ledger? Well, Ledger sucks, and if you use Ledger Live, it doesn't do signing. But their old app does, so you can use the Chrome app, or you can use your Ledger through Electrum, and I have to do all those fucking videos. So it's like...
Yeah. But that's awesome, though. That's good. You're teaching people, man.
Yeah.
There's people out there that need to learn it, and you're teaching them. That's cool, And let me say thank you for all those people, all right? Because then they won't ask me those questions. But anyway.
True that.
Your incentive programs with this, that's going out, your uniqueness of this, man, it's awesome stuff, Richard. It really is, man. And you just shed a lot of light on a whole different way of doing a project the way that you're doing it. And it's to be number one, like you said, to be up there in the top. I believe it can be, man, because just the uniqueness of it.
Look what else is up there. It's all dog shit up there. Like it's fucking. It ain't hard competition up there as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about fair, 2017, ICO, get paid 100% up front, then take 20% of the coins after. It's be like going to a bar, buying a milkshake, pay in full, then the bartender sucks 20% off top, hands it to you. That's what ICOs do, right?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, if I ever launch another token, that ICO thing looks real good now. Because apparently people still going to shit talk you if you give them free money. Well, okay, I'll charge you next time. No problem. Like if the free money weren't good, I'll do an ICO next time. You can be an accredited investor and play. So those guys, right, they get paid upfront in full and then maybe build something that works. The way I'm doing it, nobody makes shit until it completely, totally actually works. It don't get any fairer than that. Like launching a working crypto project is like hard, which is the reason all those ICOs mostly just failed and never got to market with anything. They just took everyone's money and spent it on like a $20 million audio codec. That was a funny one. Or this Quadriga guy apparently had just gave $9 million to some fake wallet thing, which had like 100 downloads, but said they had 1 million users. And then like the founder of it really just made a fake video giving himself an award. It was a fake made up award. But the production value was fabulous. I just tweeted this about 10, 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
I'm Richard Hart Win on Twitter. Heart like the heart in your chest.
What's your theory on the whole thing with that guy, though? Freaking disappeared and died, and all those millions of dollars just freaking made. What's your theory on that? This guy died, he's in a beach somewhere drinking a drink with an umbrella in it.
I would lean towards if you magically open a charity in a part of India known for having insurance death scams, and then magically visit there and then magically die of something which is hard to die from, exactly 8 months after you emptied all your crypto wallets from your exchange, it's like
something magic happened.
And then the wife didn't report you dead until 30 days after, just like, oh, by the way, 30 days has passed. He's dead.
I haven't seen him in 30. He's been on the couch stiff for 30 days.
Like, and then you look at all the co-founders, like convicted of fraud, co-founder using a fake identity, and then they didn't keep any records. There was no digital records. It was all on paper. You're like, it's too much. It's too much. You guys are scamming. So whatever the maximum scam assumption is, like once you've triggered enough of those flags, you're like, nah, you guys are fucking scamming. That dude's probably living it up somewhere.
They're over the limit.
I mean, what's the benefit of not assuming that, right? Like, how many shady things have we seen in crypto? Enough. We've seen enough shady things. So
yes, exactly.
Let's assume the guy that lost the 190 million stole it, because it isn't lost. He didn't have it. It was stolen before he disappeared. Like, so we knew he was a piece of shit then. So now the question is he a live piece of shit or a dead piece of shit? You know,
What does it matter?
Still a piece of shit.
pretty much.
Well, Rich, listen, we thank you for having you on, as
My
always.
pleasure,
Before we let you go, before we let anybody go, if you just want to take a second, tell people where to find you, anything you want to promote, it's all yours.
Right. Sure. So I'm Richard Hart. Hit me up on Twitter. 50,000 followers there. Richard Hart Win. You can get me on YouTube, youtube.com/Richard Hart. I got a bunch of Telegram channels. I got a price calls channel, t.me/Richard's Calls. I got a trading channel, t.me/Straight Charts. I got a general crypto chat, about 6,000 people in there, t.me/Strape. We got Bitcoin HEX, which has got 2K people in it, which is going to be transitioned to HEX as I get around to it. What else? I got a show link if you want to go margin trade. You'll probably get wrecked, but hey, if you want to margin trade and buy the dip with some leverage, richardhart.win. If, what else? Free book, t.me/Sci-Vive. It's really 2 books. They're outlines, so they got a lot of directions without the narrative glue that would let me, sell them on market. You might not need the narrative glue. You might just like the directions. What else? Save your own life, donate to sense.org, do biotech startups. If you're rich in crypto, go be rich in biotech. It's, we need the medicine. I think that's it.
That's awesome. And guys, remember, Bitcoin HEX is free as long as you own Bitcoin. Oh, and by the way, you have to have it in a legacy. You have to have
Changed
your
it.
Bitcoin.
We support SegWit now. We added it. Yep. So you
very
can be in
good.
a 3 address now. So
Okay,
you can
so
be
a
in a
1 or a
ledger, you can
3?
be in a Trezor, 1 or 3. Now look, those 3 addresses, they're tricky, right? So you could have a time lock in a 3, we don't support that. You could have a multi-sig, we don't support that. You could have other weird scripts. The 3 just means it's a script. We support the SegWit script. So technically it's called pay to witness public key hash in pay to script hash. We support that. So that's any normal SegWit address. Any SegWit address that you make is going to be pretty much supported.
Got it. And
I still like
all the
legacy addresses personally,
addresses.
but like it's not a big deal either way.
Got it. Okay.
You know
Well,
what, Richard? We appreciate
Larry.
you, brother. Man, it's always awesome to talk to you.
right.
I really do enjoy talking to you, man. You're very full of knowledge.
Thank you.
We appreciate when you come on. We appreciate you sharing, your stories with us and filling our guys with a lot of knowledge, man. Because you're definitely an awesome dude. And what I'd like to do is, I want to invite you to something tomorrow night. We're having I know you're a busy guy, but I just don't want to not invite you. We're hosting a thing for Verge's having something live tomorrow. They didn't actually tell us too much about it, and we're going to be kind of hosting it here on our show. And if you can, man, we'd love to have you come and sit in. We get just a
Is
couple
Verge
VIP.
the Dogecoin dark anonymity coin? Is
Yes.
that the Verge?
Yes.
I can't dilute my brand, man. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
All right.
Didn't they get the shit hacked out of them?
Throw the invite out there.
We didn't want you to see us doing something and say, "Oh man, because we're gonna have a couple of different
feel you.
VIPs on there watching it with us," and we didn't want you to say, "Oh, those bastards! They didn't invite me. What am I, no good?" So,
Thank you for the invite.
But I just wanted to get that invite out to you for
I
tomorrow.
appreciate it, man.
I do
I
understand,
appreciate it.
man. I do
So
understand.
get me
What-
on with a a little bit higher up the food chain crypto. I'll do it with you.
Oh, what about like you said, if I could get McAfee on, you'll
Sure.
come on with McAfee?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
sober, so I'm not sure I'll be as fun as he. But
No,
a
don't
legend,
worry.
so-
You're always a good time.
You're the best, man,
Listen,
Richard.
if we don't see you anytime soon, once Hex is out there, we like to get you back on and
Sure.
maybe talk a little bit more.
I'd love to. It's
All
good,
right,
good
awesome.
having you
Rich,
guys.
listen,
Thanks a
you're
lot,
the man. You're my favorite YouTuber. It's amazing to have you here. I appreciate you guys. Go check out his catalog.
Yes.
I promise you, there's some very interesting videos. And just type in Richard Hart, Roger Veer, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I
The
could have
one and
saved him a
only
lot of
Mr.
millions
Richard.
if he'd listened to me, But he didn't want to listen to me, so now he had to get
I
wrecked.
did not want you to listen.
Oh
Nope.
yeah. Hey.
Imagine how many millions he lost.
Yes.
hundreds.
And he took a hit. He took a hit.
Oh my
I
God.
cannot believe he owns Bitcoin.com. I just can't believe that. It's
Hey man,
mind-boggling.
just MIT license your open source project, and anyone can do whatever they want, right?
I know.
All
All
right,
right, Rich,
guys.
listen.
Good talking to you,
Thanks
man.
again, buddy.
Have a good night, brother.
Ciao.
Man.